Good afternoon, dear students. As we are learning our first unit, sports, we are going to learn a supplementary reader on Think to Win. So, as I already posted a video on that, you might have watched the whole video. So, we are going to read the book pages passage by passage. So, after listening to the audio, you can read and practice it. Think to Win. The bicycle wobbled as 10-year-old Rucha leaned forward in the seat and bumped the pedals. Hold tight, Vishnu, I will fall, she shouted to the boy, who ran behind. Steadying the bicycle, for the past 2 weeks he had been teaching her to ride. Don't worry, Ruchaji, you are doing well, he puffed. For a few moments he let go of his hold and Rucha was on her own. Of course, she did not know it and rode along smoothly. Vishnu, stop the bicycle. I want to get off, Rucha called. Use the brake, Vishnu called out. His voice came from some distance away, and Rucha realized that he was not holding the bicycle anymore. I will fall, she wailed. And before Vishnu could reach her, the bicycle wobbled tilt to one side and Rucha was deposited into a bush. Shaken but unhurt, Rucha cried angrily. I told you to hold tight. I told you I would fall. She glad at Vishnu. But Ruchaji, you were riding quite well, and anyway, you have to learn riding without someone holding the cycle, isn't it? Vishnu explained. I fell, didn't I? Rucha would not be pacified. She stormed into the house to complain. You fell? Doesn't matter, said her mother calmly. We all do when we are learning to ride a cycle. At least you are not hurt. The bicycle is too big for me. Rucha complained. When I am in the seat, my toes barely touch the ground. Her mother explained to her that she found nothing wrong with it. Riding a cycle of that height was right for her. After all, she was growing up. Mummy, may I ride the cycle? Asked Seema, Rucha's sister, younger to her by 3 years. No, Seema, you cannot. Rucha cut in before her mother could answer. When it is so high for me, how can you sit? You are much shorter. No amount of pleading helped. There was a considerable contrast between the two sisters. Rucha was very protective of her younger sister. She was overprotective with her. Rucha herself had been overprotected. She seldom did things rashly. Even in running and playing, she would be conscious of her movements. Shima, on the other hand, was bold and prone to taking risks. Next week, inter-house badminton matches were to be held in the school. Rucha was in the senior team. She gave up other activities and practiced with her friends. Rucha, hit harder, they told her on the day of the match. Aruna, a very good player of their house, was expected to win, and she did. Rucha and her opponent were almost evenly matched, and Rucha lost the game by a couple of points. Their house stood second in the overall tally. I can't seem to win, said Rucha remorsefully. You played all right, Aruna consoled her. The time when your opponent was at the net, if you had hit just a little harder over her head, you could have won that point. I know, replied Rucha, but somehow I always make such mistakes. You must practice more, that is all, Aruna told her. I suppose so, Rucha replied gloomily. Cheer up now, Aruna told her. At least you tried. I say, the inter-school sports meet is coming up. You are in the school's relay team, aren't you? I will probably make everyone lose the race, Rucha said, still gloomy. Don't think that way, Aruna pleaded with her. You run first, we need you. Rucha finally agreed to stand in if no better person could be found. Meanwhile, she would train with the rest of them under the new PT instructor Prakash sir. He was very enthusiastic about sports and drove the children hard, praising, scolding, correcting, but mostly encouraging them. Rucha, you are nimble and light. You can do better than that. He told her often. How can I do that? Rucha confided to Aruna. I will most probably fall. Don't be silly. We are all trying to be better ourselves. You must try too, Aruna told her. Springfields have a very fast runner in their team, Shabnam. Their teammate informed them. Has anyone heard about her? It seems they call her PT Usha. Dear students, as we learn few passages from the textbook, we will be reading rest of the passages in the coming classes. Thank you for listening. After listening to the audio, you can practice with your book page. Thank you.